how's it going? Nick here from the usual channel that you've been watching. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Look at this. We had a freezing rainstorm yesterday, so everything's frozen over and still has a lot of ice on it. This is pretty wicked. Everything, even the grass is down here. That's awesome. And got the icicles on all the trees up here too. Just dripping. That's really cool. So yeah, I just figured let's get out into the woods today and do a bit of natural cordage lessons with you. We'll go through see what material I can find, but we're going to go through how to make natural cordage, how to harvest it from whatever I can find, and also how to make longer lengths of natural cordage, because a lot of the time you're not going to find long pieces of cordage out in the wilderness. It's going to come in short pieces, so you're going to have to join that together somehow to make it a longer piece and make it a longer, more usable piece. So I'm going to show you some of that today, and also 2 ways to join the cordage together and weave them together, or in whatever words you want me to use. So yeah, one thing I will say is, fellas, if you don't know how to plait, get your girlfriends, get your wives, get your daughters to show you how to plait, because it's a very useful skill to know. And also look up the term Flemish twist. It's what the old archers and archers nowadays, actually traditional archers, use to spin their bowstrings on their bows. So yeah, we're gonna do some of that today. So stay with me and I'll go find the materials that we need for this, and I'll get right back to you. Right, so I made it through that hawthorn patch right there, and I found a nice patch of Dog Bane. As you can see, it's got a nice light brown reddy tinge to it. I'll take some photos too, because I know video doesn't do it any justice. And also the ice that's on it from the ice storm yesterday doesn't do it any justice at all, because the sun's reflecting off it. So take heed, take note of how the branches are growing. It's quite an easy one to identify. Grows pretty straight. All this plant's poisonous, so don't think about eating it, and be careful and wash your hands once you've finished handling it too, because you can get sick, and it's also extremely poisonous to dogs too. I'd say deadly poisonous to dogs. So you'll see some of them. I'm going to do a better recognition of this during the spring and the summer and going into fall, and I'll get this identified for you and add to my post so you can see all the stages. But they have these leaves on them too, which hang down. I'll see if I can find a better patch. There's a patch over this way. So I'm going to be looking for the thickest and the straightest pieces I can. So we got one there I'm going to take in a minute, but let's just look at the branches a little bit more on the Dog Bane. So these are winterized Dog Bane right here. They have these leaves hanging down. They're quite easy to identify once you see them. So it's hard to tell because of the ice, but these leaves here, and they kind of hang all over the place. Yeah, as you can see, these ones are a nice little reddy light brown tinge. I'll take some photos and I'll get them up below, or on my blog if you're watching this on YouTube. Give you a reason to go and visit my blog. Cool. Okay, I'm going to harvest a couple of these now, and then we're going to go back to the bush camp, and I'm going to show you how to turn this into cordage. So I'm going to grab this low down as I can, because it's nice and thick at the bottom, and snap it off. It should snap. As you can see on the inside, she's fairly hollow. It's got a little bit of a pith, but she's hollow inside. That's another thing. There's a better view of it there. And I'll take some pics for you as well. So I'm going to harvest a couple of these and then we'll get back to the camp and work on some cordage. Okay, so I've got my Dog Bane back, and as you see, there's the two we picked. Just right there, that's the two we picked. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to strip off these branches here. I'm going to strip them off to about where it gets a little bit too thin. I'm not going to get much out of that. So all I'm going to do there is I'm just going to chop that. But any branches lower down, any of these little ones, I'm going to get those off because they're going to be in my way. I don't need those on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to score it round. You'll see it's already wanting to come off in lengths. So that's that one. And as you'll see, you can see that the center of it's pretty much hollow. You can see that. So that's one. Same with the second one. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just with this one taking any branches off. I'm just going to cut it, and that's it. That's the top. That's it. And that's my stems. Right. Next thing. Just remember, guys, that Dog Bane is poisonous. Hence the name Dog Bane. It will kill your dog if they eat it, if they ingest it anyway. So just be careful and wash your hands after you've been playing with it. So what I'm going to do here, all I'm going to do, if I can do it, it might be too frozen, is I'm going to break it up. Yeah, she's rather frozen today. I'm going to squeeze it, I'm going to crush it, I'm going to break it down into just smaller bits. And you know what, that's going to be big enough. Let's cut that. Just want a demonstration, so I don't need to actually do the whole thing because she's rather solid up here. So let's cut that off. Okay. So once I've crushed it up, you'll see it's already broken apart at this end, so I'm just going to work that down. I'm going to work that down and break it up in a way that it wants to be broken up. I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to let it pop, and you'll see these little strands here. I want to cut those as I go because they'll ruin your cordage as you're trying to peel it off. So okay, so you just literally just peel it and let it go its own way, and you'll get these nice big strands off it, as you see there. Oops. So that's two. That'll be two strands I got. I'm not actually cutting this. I'm just going with the grain of this Dog Bane. With the grain of this Dog Bane. That kind of rhymed pretty cool. So you'll see there, I got four. I got 4 pieces there, and you'll see in the middle of this the Dog Bane has a pith, has like a spongy pith. I don't need that at all. I'm going to show you how to separate that in a minute. So let's do it with the second one. Do that again. So I'm going to crush it up all the way down, and you'll see it's just literally folding and breaking where the grain wants to break. So I'm just going to go with it, just keep going with it, and it got solid there, so I'm going to cut it there because I don't need the whole thing. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. So let's break this up, and you'll see I'm just cutting gently just to get rid of those little finer strands that are there. Yeah, you'll wonder why I'm in a t-shirt and we had ice rain yesterday. It's -2 today, so it's quite warm at the minute. I have my winter blood in, so -2 kind of feels like 15 degrees to me at the moment. So there you go. That's that's how you break it up. So now, next thing, to get my actual main strands, what I'm going to do is pick a thick piece. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn it so the pithy side is up. Then I'm going to snap it all the way down. Snap it just in inch long lengths. Snap it all the way down. And then what I'm going to do is just work it off. So, you know, I'm going to use my finger and just peel it off, and just go with the strands. If you feel some of the strands are sticking to the pith, go the other way, and just keep working that all the way down the Dog Bane. And you'll see, look at that. That's what's going to make your cordage right there. I'm just going to show you this one, and I'm going to stop the video. You'll see it's pretty quick once you get going. Yeah, I'm going to show you this one, stop the video, and then I'm going to strip more down, and I'll get back to the next stage, because I don't want you sitting here watching this and make your eyes bleed with boredom because of what I'm doing. So we'll stop it after I finish this one. Roots of a lot of the pine, all the pine species, they make good cordage too. Willow is also another. The inner bark of a willow tree is also another good source of cordage. So I'll do a video on that as well when I can find a bloody willow tree in my area, or when I'm up north camping. And if I find a willow tree, I'll get a cordage video done. So there you go. That's one strand. So now I'm going to go on. I'm going to do 5 more strands, because I want to show you how to plait this together to make it one nice piece of cordage, and then how to join 2 pieces together so you can keep on going and make a nice long piece of cordage. So I'm going to strip these down. I'll get right back. Right, so how am I going to join these together? I got 6 pieces here. I'm going to plait 3 of them first. This is going to be my first length. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stack them on top of each other. First one on the left, underneath, and then you got your middle on top of that, and then on the right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold on to it, I'm going to plait it. So I'm going to go outside to in, all the way down. So this left side, outside to in, right side, outside to in. Left side, outside to in, right side, outside to in. And I'm going to carry on doing that all the way down. Let's keep going, show you a bit closer. So outside to in, outside to in, and that's how you plait. I'm going to work that all the way down until I get to the very end. I shorten this piece so I can show you a little bit quicker how to join 2 pieces together. So we do that all the way down. Outside to in. Oops, outside to in. Outside to in. So this isn't the neatest of work, but it will do the job. And of course, if once you get a longer length, if you could tie it to something, or if you're barefoot, you can put it between your toes. Stand on it any way possible. You can get some tension on it as you're plaiting and get tighter plaits, and basically that'll make it even stronger. So what I'm going to do now, okay, I've reached where I want to add in another length. Okay, so you want to leave a good 4 inches at the bottom where you're going to join into another piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 3 more chunks. Okay, there's my 3 pieces. So what I'm going to do, get rid of that. Snap that off a minute, if I can. It's actually quite tough stuff, this stuff. especially when it's when the hands are cold too. A week, it'll be a week. Okay, so right, my first piece is gonna go, I'm gonna overlap, so I'm gonna put my first piece here. Same again, do the middle and then do the right hand side on top of that. So you'll see I'm matching each strand. So that's the strand off the first piece, that's what I'm adding in. Strand off the first piece, adding in. Strand off the first piece, adding in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry on my plaiting. So outside it in, outside it in, and it'll be a couple of plaits before they actually lock in together. So don't worry, outside it in, outside it in, outside it in, and just keep checking outside it in that the first ones are actually staying with the second pair. So outside it in, so first set, second set, outside it in, outside it in, outside it in, and I keep doing that all the way down till I make my length. You want to keep going, you want to just keep going, and you can make it as long or as short as you want it. So I'm going to plait this, and then I'm going to show you how to put a Flemish twist in this then. That's another way of making this even stronger. I'm messing up in a minute. So I'll get right back to you when I finish doing this. So when you reach the end, how are you going to finish this off? You don't want to keep these loose ends just there and it's going to unravel itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my centerpiece, I'm going to fold it over, make a loop. Okay, made a loop. And then what I'm going to do, bring left hand piece or right hand piece, depending on which hand you're doing, I'm going to bring it around the centerpiece. You can see centerpiece around the centerpiece and hold it. Then I'm going to bring the right hand piece through the loop of the centerpiece, and I'm going to pull on that centerpiece to pull it tight, and that'll basically knock the end for me. That's basically splicing the end as a stopper, so that's to give me a nice end. So now what you do, you can weave this into the strands to finish off and tidy it up. So you'll end up having a nice nice looking natural cordage rope. And this stuff is strong enough to actually use as the bowstring on a bow drill. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that later on. Not today, I don't have the time, but I will be doing that later on, so you can see it and see it in action. So stay tuned on my channel. I got lots more exciting stuff for you. So yeah, all I would do is just keep working that down. You can put that in the strands as long as you want, and then just cut off the ends. And that's where I made the joint there. Right here's where I made the joint, and you'll see that's solid. That's solid. So absolutely solid there. Great cordage. Great cordage. So say I want to make that even stronger, I can put a Flemish twist into it. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to take the left hand, I'm going to twist it, twist this forwards on the left hand, on the right hand, depending on what hand you are, and on the right hand, just for this lesson's sake, I'm going to twist it backwards. So I'm going to do opposites. So again, this is a lot easier if you can pin the one side down. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do opposites, and just keep twisting opposites, and you're going to see that the cordage wants to twist on it, twist on itself. See, that's going to do what it wants. Okay, and that just ping there. So now all I'm going to do is keep twisting it, and it's going to twist itself together, and you can tighten that up as it goes. You can see right there, look, that's your cordage right there, nice and strong. And we're going to test that in a minute. We're going to test how strong this is. See if I can hang off it. I got a second piece. I'm going to put a second piece onto it as well, so we can play around a little bit. So that's that there. There you go. So that's your cordage, and that's just a basic Flemish twist. After plaiting for Dog Bane cordage, so that makes it nice and strong. And you could do that. You can make three of those plaited lengths, and then of course Flemish twist them together and make it even stronger. So I mean, the world's your oyster when it comes to this stuff. So that's Dog Bane natural cordage for you. Thank you for joining me today on this absolutely wonderful day in the woods again. What more do you want? Stunning. So hey, stay safe out there, stay warm, stay toasty, and I'll be back with you for another episode of Raw Skills Bushcraft before you know it. Thanks again. Check out my Patreon page. I got some rewards on there I think you'll like. Any suggestions, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm always open, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks very much, and have a good one. So how strong is this Dog Bane cordage, you may ask yourself. Right, so what I'm going to do here, I got myself a tripod. I'm going to put this piece of Dog Bane through a loop on a piece of cord that's on the tripod. I'm going to attempt to hang off it. Let's see what we've got. So this is that piece I just made there, with the plaits and the Flemish twist. Let's try that tight and see what we got. Let's see how you hang off this. So, it's whether my hands can hold it. Actually, it's thin. Ready? 1, 2. Oh, I'm holding on to the cord here. So as you can see, that Dog Bane cordage, super strong. Get this undone. That's how strong it is. I weigh 220 pounds, and that cordage there, just a couple of plaits and a Flemish twist in it, just held me up. So that's how strong this stuff is. Brilliant. I just thought I'd add that in. Thanks for joining me again.